I call this meeting to order. Clerk Ellison, roll call, please.
Trustee Eck?
Here.
Trustee Farrell Mayer? Also absent. Trustee Kennedy?
Present.
Trustee Metz?
Here.
Trustee O'Loughlin?
Here.
And Mayor Hinshaw, who is also absent. Okay. All
Would
right.
everybody please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. With Mayor Hinshaw's absence, it would be appropriate for a trustee to make a motion to appoint an individual as temporary chair for this meeting.
I move to have Brenda O'Loughlin cover the meeting tonight.
Second.
Clerk Ellison, a roll call, please.
All right. Let's see. Trustee Donnersberg is absent. Trustee Eck?
Yes.
Trustee Farrell Mayer, also absent. Trustee Kennedy?
Yes.
Trustee Metz?
Yes.
Trustee O'Loughlin?
Yes.
And Mayor Hinshaw, of course, is gone. Okay, that's passed.
Okay, I would like to seek a motion to anyone that would like to approve the consent agenda.
Sorry, we have to do public comment?
Oh, I'm sorry, public comments, please. Anybody have any public comments?
No.
No. Okay,
Okay, now I can do consent
Okay.
agenda.
Andy, any emails?
Okay.
The lack of trees in Acacia.
can
is-
you please state your name,
Oh,
please?
Lori Davis, 6482 Apache. The trees coming down and having come down in Acacia is absolutely deplorable. Were there more than the original 44 that was intended to come down?
Not to my knowledge. Only the trees that are on the plan to be removed have been
Why are
removed.
they down from the median?
The median on either side, because that is going to be repaved and reconstructed, and trees will be replanted there.
But what size trees?
Pardon?
What size trees? I mean, the ones that were taken down, the trunks were like this.
I understand, but with the construction, the trees would die.
Yeah.
So they will
It's-
be replaced.
It's heartbreaking.
Does anybody else have any comments? Okay. Seeking a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
John, is anybody going to give a financial report, or is that with Maureen not here?
I can give a
That would be-
financial report. For the month ending July 2021, the cash on hand, starting actually June 30th, 2021, was just a little over $3 million. Total for all warrants for July was $406,522. Total revenues, $348,374. And the ending balance as of July 31st, $2,960,000.
Okay, can I have a roll call for the approval of the consent agenda, please?
Yes. Trustee Donnersberger? Absent. Trustee Eck?
Yes.
Trustee Farrell Mayer, also absent. Trustee Kennedy?
Aye.
Trustee Metz?
Aye.
Trustee O'Loughlin?
Aye.
Thank you. That's passed.
So do I have to approve?
Now we're on to the.
So we're on to new business. Can I have a motion to award the bid at Heritage Center for the path?
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve, I lost it here, a quote for the pathway installation from Hinsdale Nurseries in an amount not to exceed $13,431.
Second.
No.
Any discussion?
Does anybody want to discuss this?
Roll call.
You, Brenda, maybe you could?
What the reason why we're going with Hinsdale Nursery is because of the quality of work that they were doing as well as the material that's going to be put in. So that's why we went with Hinsdale Nursery. So the path will be going from the parking lot all the way over to the next street, and we will have to see, as far as the time frame when they will be putting that pathway in, but hopefully within the next few weeks. And then we will wait until next year as far as any type of landscaping, because right now, as far as material and that, they're really down to the end of it because of the end of the season.
Can I ask you two questions? Purpose of the pathway, I would assume, is for school kids and people trying to get through that area that usually would cut through along that white fence that used to be there. And where exactly is the pathway going to go in? Is it going to be closer to Wolf Road, or is it going to be closer to the swing and other things that are over there? Do we know?
It's going to be going right into sort of like into the middle of the parking lot. That'll be the entrance or the exit, and then it'll kind of like go around a little bit like a zigzag to go around by the bees and then over where the new swings and that are over there and the table. So, so it'll kind of curve throughout it'll look kind of like a park area, once we complete it. And that because Don has taken down trees and that, dead trees and that. And so we're trying to make it look like a nice parkway as well as a walkway for the residents.
Just trying to encourage people to enjoy it.
Okay. Can we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Trustee Donnersberger, absent. Trustee Eck.
Aye.
Trustee Farrell Mayor, also absent. Trustee Kennedy.
Aye.
Trustee Metz.
Aye.
And Trustee O'Loughlin.
Aye.
All right, that also is passed.
Okay. I'm going to open it for discussion for the construction hours. John, do you want to talk about that?
This is something that has come about as recent discussion, basically with the tollway work. Question is, what are our construction hours, and how do they compare with other communities? And you can see in the memo prepared by the Assistant Village Administrator that our construction hours are pretty much fall in line with what our neighbors do. We're a little bit, on Monday through Friday, we start a little bit earlier than other people. We allow construction from 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Burr Ridge is really the next with 7 to 7 p.m. So we're not out of line with construction. And this is not only for how other agencies work in the village, but what we would do for home construction or things of that nature. So if the board wishes, we can prepare an ordinance to change our construction hours, or we can just leave it as is. I just want to have an initial discussion on it.
Have we had any complaints or?
The only complaints were from when the work was being done on the tollway, and the tollway work will, even if it's not within our corporate limits, does carry a great deal. So that's really what was the impetus for this. So nothing from a residential perspective have we ever gotten a complaint on.
Yeah, because for the most part, since I'm right down by the tollway and that, they've been very good as far as, not waiting until 7 o'clock to start working. Even on Plainfield Road, they've been good with that as well.
Okay.
And then they leave early too, so,
Okay.
which has been good. Could partially be because of the weather too, but right now,
Okay.
it's been great.
If the board wishes, we can discuss this further, or we can prepare an amendment to our ordinance.
Or leave it as is.
Or
Yeah,
leave it as is.
I mean, if we haven't had anybody, I do remember the one issue that we had on the toll road. I think it was very late at night. They were doing something, but that's outside of our purview. I mean, we can say
Correct.
something, but
Yes.
they're still going to do what they need to do.
And they do try to comply with our,
Of course.
but they were doing work at 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, which is when they do it for traffic purposes, so.
Right.
Anyway, staff really has no recommendation one way or another, so we would just recommend keeping it as is.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. We'll go to the next item, American Rescue Plan funding. John, you want to go over that as
Sure.
well?
The village expects to receive over the next 2 years a total of $505,000 through the American Rescue Plan. We're going to get half of it within the next month and the other half within a year after that. We have to decide what projects we want by December 31st of 2024, and we have to spend the money by December 31st of 2026. There are numerous ways we can spend this money. It's really targeted primarily for infrastructure and economic development. And since 15% of the village is not on water and sewer through the Village of Indian Head Park, they have LaGrange Highlands water. I'm trying to be equitable within the entire village and where our needs are. And staff is looking at stormwater management as a potential use of this money and economic development. We could use this money to help spur development or improvements in our shopping centers, either through a facade improvement program or grants for the businesses, things of that nature. So like I said, we have a couple years to decide what we want to do, but now that the money is coming, I've done all the paperwork to get the money, so let's start talking about what you want to do. We have to set up a special account for this. We have to track it very carefully, but it's $500,000 that we wouldn't have otherwise. So I think it's a great thing, and let's put our thinking caps on. So that's all.
Are you looking for a discussion now?
Yeah, or your thoughts?
There's land back behind where we've got our, by the tollway there. And there was a trucking firm back behind us as well. Is any of that land going to become available, and do we have any interest in it?
We do, and I don't know if the purchase of land is directly allowable with this. I think for economic development, it might be. I would defer to further legal research.
Yeah,
on this?
we'd have to look at it. The rules are somewhat still evolving on it, so, you know, they, as with most things with the federal government, but yeah, so I think for the purposes of tonight, if you're looking for ideas, right,
Yeah.
John? And then to start formulating that into a recommendation that
Correct.
would be brought back to the board at
Yeah.
some time so that you could properly itemize what, and prioritize these items
Yeah.
for the dollars that are coming
Right.
in, right?
And also give the public a chance to comment
Right.
and let us know, so.
Right, so trustee, for sure, that's right on for what we're looking for what John's looking for, and then we can look and tailor those sorts of things as to when the recommendations are final, so.
Yeah.
So stormwater management, I think would be a great way to spend some of those funds. When we have these super rains that cause so many problems, I think it would be nice to be able to devote some of those funds to alleviating flooding conditions.
Well, I think as well as road improvements to continue on to,
Road improvements surprisingly are not
Oh, really?
part of what's allowed. We do have money from the Rebuild Illinois bond fund, so that's what we're using for some road improvements, but no, unfortunately, we can't use it for roads.
But we can use it in our water system here, though.
Correct.
Pump house? Water system
Yes.
pump house? I know we had some things on the docket
Correct.
that were going to be costly there. Not having them in front of me, off the top of your head, goals for the board, would anything fall under there? Like, I would guess the traffic light, or not traffic lights, but the cameras that we talked about a couple of meetings ago that were on there would not fall.
I don't think so.
Okay. It would be nice to know if, in your opinion, any of the goals that we had would fall under that. That would be a good place to start, I would think.
I will look at that. Infrastructure is always part of our goal, so yes.
Okay. And along that, with the Senate recently passing the $1.2 trillion Senate or infrastructure bill, what do we think, if anything, will come of that? That could, I know too early to tell, but it seems like this discussion would piggyback right onto that pretty quickly.
I agree, and I have no idea what form that will take.
Of course.
So,
So getting anything kind of finalized might be a little premature
Correct.
until we have more of an idea what
Correct.
might come of that.
but we got notice of this before that bill was passed.
Sure, absolutely.
So
Right, right,
any new money would be just on top of that.
right.
What about any of the technology?
You can use it for broadband infrastructure. However, based on the current census, most of our community has high-speed internet available, or it's actually available to everybody. Most of our community has high-speed internet at their home. So that I really don't know I don't think we have the need for that for internet infrastructure.
I think if, Andy and John, if possible, one, if, again, there's anything on the board's wish list that would fall under this, and just kind of a breakdown of what would fall under this for,
Yep.
do a little research and have more of an in-depth conversation, I think, at upcoming meetings.
I agree. I mean, we haven't gotten the money yet, we will, and it's not budgeted this year, although we could always do a budget amendment, but I think we have some time to think about it and plan properly.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. The next item on the agenda is, would somebody like to make a motion for Resolution 04-2021 for a special liquor license for the car show?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 04-2021, establishing a special liquor rules for the upcoming car show in Indian Head Plaza.
Now second.
I have a question. I think there were three retail facilities that were specifically mentioned as covered under the resolution. Are there any retail businesses in Indian Head Park with a liquor license that were not included in this?
Yes, the restaurants in Brookside Plaza are not included. And we have a couple carry-out liquor stores that were not included. It's really, I targeted only those three businesses because those are the businesses in Indian Head Plaza. And the businesses are cooperating with us with the car show, so I wanted to confine it to a very specific area.
Have any of them made any, have any of the others made any requests, John?
No,
Okay.
I think it was kind of focused because they're the ones that were being impacted.
correct. And the main thing is, when we had the car show 2 years ago, I noticed a number of people having alcohol in the open, which really isn't allowed under our ordinance. I think it's going to be, it's just natural to pick up a beverage and walk around with the car show. So I'm really just targeting those businesses.
Okay. Can we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Donnersberger, still absent. Trustee Eck,
Aye.
trustee Farrell Mayer, also absent. Trustee Kennedy,
Aye.
trustee Metz,
Aye.
trustee O'Loughlin.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item. Would somebody like to make a motion to approve the task order for the pump station repair?
I'll make a motion to approve Strand Task Order 21-04 and the amount not to exceed $97,000 for preparation of pump station improvement plans.
I'll second.
So, John, I would assume this is along the lines of previous discussions we've had on the numerous repairs that have to happen in the pump house. This is the
Correct.
first step of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Some of this is going to carry over to the next fiscal year as well?
The construction will, the task order is for engineering, and this will be done this fiscal year.
So this is just primarily for Strand?
Correct, for design engineering.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions? Okay. Can we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Dornesberg, absent. Trustee Eck,
Aye.
trustee Farrell Mayer, absent again. Trustee Kennedy,
Aye.
trustee Metz,
Aye.
and trustee O'Loughlin.
Aye.
Thank you, that passed.
Next item on the agenda is the road program addendum for Ashbrook. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
I'll make a motion to increase the scope of service in the village's contract with Chicagoland Paving for the village's 2021 road program in the amount not to exceed $29,545.56.
So do you want to do a second?
Second.
Thank you.
A little background on this, John? What,
So we had, bids came in lower than expected for the road program this year because we removed Acacia Circle. Some road repair work in Ashbrook has kind of come to a higher level of need. So we're going to be doing some massive patching in Ashbrook. Ashbrook is still on the schedule for repaving, I believe in the year 2026 or 5. But the patching is necessary now, so we have money in the budget. Let's just get it done before the roads get a little bit worse. An increase in the scope of the contract of this amount does require board approval.
Okay, any other questions? Can we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Donnersberger, absent. Trustee Eck,
A hearty aye.
trustee Farrell Mayer, absent. Trustee Kennedy,
aye.
trustee Metz.
Aye.
Trustee O'Loughlin.
Aye.
Okay, there's another pass.
Okay, we're on to the reports. Sean, would you like to start?
Nothing to report other than just remind everybody about the car show on the 19th of September. I did notice there was a time stated on the website that was different than the time on the signage that I saw. Do we have a,
We will look at that and make
Okay.
corrections as needed.
okay, thank you.
Chris?
No report.
I just want to remind everybody, we have movie at the park on this Saturday. It'll start around 7 o'clock. There will be a barbecue. Ceasepire is also part of this event. And the movie will be The Parent Trap. We will have hot dogs, fresh popcorn, cotton candy, side dishes, and dessert. So I hope to see everybody out there. Again, it's at 7 o'clock. The movie will start right around 8 o'clock. Over here at Black Hawk Park.
Very good, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like the folks to know that the Planning and Zoning Committee met earlier this week and approved the two-story building, which is west of Wolf's Head Inn. This has to come to the full board for vote, but the Planning and Zoning Committee did approve that.
Okay. Village clerk,
No report.
okay, village treasurer,
She's absent.
village attorney,
No report, thank you.
village administrator.
As we look at the development in the Triangle, I received a request this afternoon from Ron Vari, owner of the Driftwood, for consideration of, and this is not for a vote, I'm only reporting on this, for consideration for outdoor dining and liquor service. I will refer this to planning and zoning. I don't see it. The plan that I have right now isn't all that impressive, and I have concerns, but we will talk about this with the owner of the plaza and legal counsel, and then probably planning and zoning at some point.
Okay. Assistant village administrator,
Thank you. Two things to report really quick. Even though it's August now, we're getting to fall, and that means the leaf vacuuming program. And it was very nice to have it back last year. I know a lot of residents were happy about that. And the exact dates we have not yet chosen. The Public Works Committee at the next meeting will have we'll select those. But I will just start saying it now, and I'll be mentioning it at every board meeting from now on, that during leaf vacuuming program, we ask that residents rake the leaves only up to the edge of the street, but not on the street. But we also don't want the leaves too far back, because otherwise the vacuuming crew are not able to reach them. So we'll have more on that as well in the smoke signals that will be coming out in early September. So keep an eye out for that. And then the only other thing I have to report would be, along with the second year of the waste franchise agreement contract coming into effect, waste stickers or yard stickers will also be going up 15 cents to $3 flat. And those will be available for purchase in the next few weeks at Village Hall.
Public Works. Public Works.
Hey, Don, before you start, can I just say one more thing? If nobody
sure.
has had a chance, because I know it hasn't been open recently, but the northeastbound lane coming off of I-55 that had been closed, that is now opened underneath the bridge. The
The logo.
the signage, for lack of a better term, in the cement, the logo of the village looks fantastic. I remember we talked about that some time ago, and I know they're going to do it on Wolf Road when they redo that, but if you haven't had a chance to go through there, take a drive. It looks great.
It does.
Sure does, yeah. All right, hello everybody. Couple things. Tree City USA, the mayor did a thing for that. We're 32nd year. We planted 8 trees in May, plant another 8 trees in the fall. And actually, I just started to do a tree inventory with our GPS unit. So we're going to start with that, getting a good idea of all the trees, what needs to be done to them, and try to, save them and do what needs to be done to protect them. Acacia Drive project, everybody knows that's still going. Probably working on Saturdays, the engineer had said, to make up time and go as quickly as possible. So sanitary sewer project, or televising and cleaning, is going to start at the end of the month, mostly Old Town and Acacia. Road project, same thing at the end of the month, this month beginning of September. Also, along with Hiawatha, Sequoia, Indywood Lane, Timber Ridge Court, 65th Street. Also in the, by 65th Place, Howard and Lowell, they're going to be doing some ditch work and shoulder work, so that's going to be good to get some of that done. And then movie in the park on Saturday. We'll be ready for that.
Great. Thank you.
Sure.
Do we have any more public comments? No.
You could just announce there's not going to be a closed session.
Okay. We are not going to have a closed session this evening, and that's, so with that being said, we're going to adjourn the meeting. Does anybody want to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Okay. Meeting is adjourned at
Oh, we need
7.
a voice vote.
Oh, I'm sorry, voice vote, please.
Aye.
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 And the meeting is adjourned at 7:28.
There you go.
Thank you.
Knuckles.
Nice job.